Hey guys, welcome to another Jamaican Tales video, a Jamaican living in Germany. Having been to almost 90 countries across the world, I've collected quite a lot of experience showing this document. We're going to be taking a look at the rank of the Caribbean passports and to see, for example, where does the Jamaican passport fall on this rank? And we're also going to talk a bit about what are some of the problems, what are some of the good things that I experienced traveling with the Jamaican passport. So stick around. Traveling with a Jamaican passport can be one of the most exciting experiences, but also sometimes one of the most frustrating ones, because just showing them this document and them see Jamaica on it, they're asking, okay, where, when, why? So I'm here editing this video and a friend of mine sent me this reel on Instagram.
Look on the passport, you think this after you, this can't carry about America, Canada or England unless them put a stamp in that this, do this and check it. Go with this. You know what we do with that?
A lot of Jamaicans would say that our passport is probably one of the worst passports to have in the world. The countries that Jamaicans really are interested in going to visit our family members and our friends, we need visas to go there. The stories are endless of people trying to get these visas, paying so much money only to be rejected. You can understand why people would then say, hey, this is probably one of the worst passports to have. Is this passport really that bad? Before we jump into talking about the ranking of the passports, let us first of all talk about why do I have two passports and why does one of them actually have the e-passport logo on it. Since April 23, the Planning Institute, the Passport Immigration Citizenship Agency, have been printing e-passports. I've made quite a few videos talking about the pros and the cons of the new e-passports and also even renewing your passport if you're living overseas. So go ahead and check out those videos if you want to get some more information. When you look at the Jamaican passport, you see at the top it says the Caribbean Community. What that is just a group of 15 member states that have joined together to issue these documents to their citizens. The passport that you have, even among the list in the Caribbean, will determine which of the countries that you can go. The Henley Passport Index, what it does is that it ranks all the passports in the world based on the criteria of, okay, can you visit a country without having to secure a visa ahead of time. Countries that are at the top of the list are mostly countries within Europe. Germany has one of the most powerful passports. They are able to visit 194 countries. In the case of Jamaica, we can visit 106 countries. That's still not a lot considering the number of countries that other citizens of the Caribbean community are able to visit. At position number 22 on this entire list, we have Barbados with 165 countries, Bahamas at number 24 with 156 countries, St. Vincent and the Grenadines at position number 25 with 157 countries, St. Kitts and Nevis at position 26 with 156 countries, Antigua and Barbuda at number 26 with 154 destinations, Trinidad and Tobago at position number 25 with 151 countries, St. Lucia at position 31 with 148 destinations, Grenada 31 with 148, Dominica at 34 with 143, there's Belize at 54 with 104 destinations, Guyana position 59 and they have 91 destinations, Jamaica is at position 60 with 90 destinations, Suriname 64, 81 destinations, and finally Haiti at position 87 with 55 destinations. Even though in the Caribbean community you see that the Jamaican passport is actually not that powerful, we can only visit 90 countries in comparison, for example, Barbados, where they're able to visit 165 countries. When you compare the map of the countries that the citizens of Barbados are able to visit, one of the main things is, of course, the countries within EU. Haiti is at the bottom of this list with 55 countries, 110 more countries that Barbados is able to visit. But I must say it's really interesting to see, even within the Caribbean, the disparity that exists among the different passports. I really hope behind the scenes, though, that the states of the Caribbean community are somehow working together to make sure that all members of the states, maybe I don't expect it to be the same, but you know, at least that it will improve for all the member states and not just for one or two members. There are a million other factors that are involved in that, but I can hope. Even with Jamaica just being able to visit 90 countries, that is also not that bad. We're still not that far down on the list. The very last three on this list, which would be Iraq, Syria and Afghanistan, they can visit from 28 to 31 countries. I've quite a few Pakistani friends, and of course we talk so many times about just the frustration of them having to travel with a Pakistani passport. When you recognize that perspective, okay, you can literally visit 3 times more countries than the countries that they're able to visit. Kind of changes your perspectives on things, and it kind of makes you a bit more grateful and thankful for the power of the Jamaican passport. Even though in the Caribbean, it might not seem to be that great, or even in the bigger picture of the world, but we still need to count our blessings. As I always do whenever I talk about our passport and the power of the passport, I will continue to encourage Jamaicans and even other people from the Caribbean as well. Go to these other countries that we can actually visit without a visa. Those countries where you just need to take this document, you don't need to fill out any forms, and you don't need to pay anything, and you can just go there, show them this passport, and you walk right through. One of the arguments for a lot of people is that, yeah, we don't know anybody there. But for me, that is also the reason I want to go to these countries, because you go to these countries where you don't know anybody and you can meet people there.
Hello, my name is Pebbles. I'm from Uzbekistan. I live currently this year to study English language. I say hello anybody of Jamaica people.
You can make new friends, and even if you want, you can make a new family there. Why not use the power of our passport to explore these countries that are literally opening their borders to us to say, hey, just come, you're welcome here. Later this year, I'm actually planning to visit quite a few of these visa-free countries, especially in the Caribbean. I've only been to Haiti in the Caribbean, nowhere else. As a Caribbean citizen, if you want to fly to another Caribbean country, it can be seriously expensive. This year is the year I'm going to be exploring a bit more of the Caribbean and to see the similarities and the differences with some of these other Caribbean countries, and I'm really excited about it because, first of all, visa-free. For my fellow Jamaicans, I keep saying that Jamaican passport is like one of the worst passports. Things have actually been improving. If you look at the numbers over the past couple of years, there have been new countries that have been added that we don't need a visa for. 2 good examples would, for example, be Serbia and Russia. I know just mentioning the name of these 2 countries, the typical Jamaican is like, why would I go there? But I'm just giving the information, guys. A couple of these countries that you're able to visit without a visa, there are also some additional countries within the category of e-visa. These countries are not part of the Henley Passport Index, but this also adds a few, because there have been a few countries that I've visited by just applying for an e-visa. Sometimes these e-visas were free. If you count the e-visas, if you count like these free visas, we are even above 100 destinations that we can go to, which I would say without problems. Which is not always true, because from my experience, even though some countries offer an e-visa, sometimes it is just as frustrating as if you're applying for a physical visa. In my case, you apply for the e-visa, but you still end up having to apply for the visa. I've been to, as I said before, almost 90 countries across the world with my Jamaican passport, but I also need to add that I'm a permanent resident in Germany. This has also opened up a lot of doors and also somehow added to the power of my Jamaican passport. I recognize that the reactions to a Jamaican passport and to just the fact that I'm a Jamaican are varied. On one side, you have people that are, whoa, you're from Jamaica. Jamaica's like the coolest place on earth. I mean, the good music, the people, the weather, the beaches and stuff. And don't forget marijuana. That's also one of the #1 reasons people seem to know about Jamaica. On the next side, you have people that have absolutely no idea about Jamaica. They're like, where is Jamaica? Where in Africa is Jamaica?
OJ, Africa?
No, from Jamaica.
Yeah, Jamaica. Yeah, Jamaica.
This is also partly my fault because of the countries that I love to visit, where I go there, I give them my passport. They have absolutely no idea what is the visa policy for their country as it pertains to Jamaican citizens, because they've never seen one of these passports before, never. And I've heard that so many times, and I have mixed feelings about it, because sometimes I'm happy like, whoa, I'm the first Jamaican, but sometimes I'm like, I'm the first Jamaican. This extreme of people having no idea about Jamaica is probably why sometimes I kind of feel pressured when I travel. Maybe it's just a small country feeling where I'm like, I have to be an ambassador for my country. I have to represent my country. I have to represent my culture. And so it's like I'm there and I can't just be myself. I have to be like somewhat on my toes and like, okay, I'm representing Jamaica. Maybe the idea or the perception that someone will have of Jamaica is just based on how I speak, how they interact with me. People that are from bigger countries have no idea what I'm talking about, because you're traveling as a German, you're traveling as an American, you don't care. I'm there, I'm pressured and I have to be careful about, the things I say. That it's not like I'm going to behave bad anyways, but you kind of get what I'm saying. It's like, it's just additional burden that, you have to be an ambassador and not just a regular person walking about. I alluded earlier to the problem that we have with Jamaican passports is, of course, the visas. Even just to go to the 3 countries that most of us visit, there are so many horror stories that you will hear, that I've heard, of people applying for visas to these countries. When I take that to the rest of the world, to the many countries that I've tried to visit and the problems that I've had with visas, it can be one of the most frustrating things about the Jamaican passport. Applying for a visa, it takes time, it takes money, it takes energy, the emotional frustration of it all. Just to think about how much money you have to spend to apply for these visas, and then all the requirements that are necessary for the many forms that you need to fill out and the many documents that you need to get to somehow prove to them that, hey, I just want to visit your country to have a good time. And sometimes feeling like you're literally begging them, just give me the opportunity to visit your country so I can spend my money. I've been having this experience over the past couple of years even more. I want to visit every country in the world. I've covered, you could say, the easy ones. Countries that I know want to visit, these are the ones that it gets tricky with the Jamaican passport. I wanted to visit Kuwait and I was called to apply for the visa, and they're like, yeah, that's not possible. You need to get an invitation for someone in Kuwait for you to apply for the visa. Applying for visa last year to Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan, it was an e-visa. Applied for everything online, very, very long process, and then them requesting 1 million documents, and in the end being rejected. All the money, all the time that I spent on these applications, it's frustrating. Kind of crazy that how this world is structured around just the document. And this document just has your picture and it just says which country you're from. Even when we talk about the power of the passport, if you really break it down, what you're talking about is like the power of the people, of the citizens. It's a process that we have to live with, and it's really, really frustrating, not just for the Jamaican passport, but for so many other passports on the list. Just because you have a certain passport, like literally you're gonna have a hard time. Despite the inequalities that exist with the different passports across the world, this will never stop me from traveling. I'm still gonna try my best to see as much of the world and to experience as much of the world as I can. The hurdle to get to the country is sometimes very, very frustrating. Visas and the entire process surrounding that's sometimes very, very political. But when you get behind that and you touch your foot on the soil, sometimes you recognize that you're in the country with some of the nicest and the most kindest people that you'll ever meet.
Thank you so much. Can I take a picture? Brought me all the way from the mountains to the hotel here.
So there you have it, guys. Traveling with this CARICOM community passport. It might not be one of the strongest passports, even within the Caribbean community, but I will still continue trying to use this passport to travel to every country across the world. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Let's continue the conversation down in the comments, talking about the power of passports and what that actually means and what are your experiences traveling across the world. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and see you in the next Jamaican Tales video.
Welcome to Kyrgyzstan.